Hello everyone, welcome to Commerce Net Scholars. The topic that I have decided to discuss today is multinational corporation, that is the MNCs. Today we'll understand कि what MNCs are, कुछ definitions देखेंगे हम MNCs की. We'll also discuss the characteristics of the multinational corporation. We'll discuss what are the challenges that the multinational corporations are facing concerning our country India. What are the advantages that multinational corporations are providing, and at the same time we'll discuss that what are the criticisms against the multinational corporations. So let's start with today's video and first understand the meaning of multinational corporation. As you can see, the first line itself depicts that what multinational corporations are. A multinational company or corporation is a company that manages its operation, production or service delivery from and to more than one country. सिंपल टर्म्स में आप ये समझ लो कि जब आप बिजनेस को एक्सपैंड कर रहे हो, यू आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन ऑफ योर बिजनेस, यू आर एंटरिंग इनटू इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस मार्केट, you are moving out from your domestic boundaries of the country, you are making your organization a multinational corporation. सिंपल टर्म्स में कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, कोई भी बिजनेस जब एक से ज़्यादा कंट्री में ऑपरेट करती है तो हम उसको मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशन या मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी बोलते हैं. अब ये जो मूवमेंट हो रहा है ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का, या तो आप अपनी कोई सब्सिडरी किसी और कंट्री में ओपन कर रहे हो, आप कोई अपना ब्रांच किसी और कंट्री में सेटअप कर रहे हो, यू आर एंटरिंग इनटू इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन थ्रू एफडीआई, यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग इनटू सम कंट्री और कंपनी, or you are providing some services in the foreign market. So that will make your organization a multinational corporation. Let's have some definitions of multinational corporation. The essential nature of multinational enterprise lies in the fact that its managerial headquarters are located in one country, that is referred to as the home country, while the enterprise carries out its operation in a number of other countries as well, the host countries. सिंपल टर्म्स में होम कंट्रीज और होस्ट कंट्रीज पहले हम समझ लेते हैं. जब हमने अपना कोई बिजनेस अपनी कंट्री में एस्टैब्लिश किया, इंडिया में एस्टैब्लिश किया, तो हम उस कंपनी की जो होम कंट्री होगी वो होगी इंडिया. वेयर एज जब हम इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, हम उस बिजनेस को फॉरेन मार्केट में लेके जा रहे हैं, वी आर एस्टैब्लिशिंग सम ब्रांचेस इन यूएसए, वी आर एस्टैब्लिशिंग इन जापान, वी आर एस्टैब्लिशिंग इन सम अदर कंट्री. तो उन कंट्रीज में जो भी हमारा बिजनेस सेटअप होगा, उन कंट्रीज को हम रेफर करेंगे होस्ट कंट्रीज. यानी कि हेडक्वार्टर जिस कंट्री में है, प्लेस ऑफ ओरिजिन जो कंट्री है, वो कंट्री कहलाई आपकी होम कंट्री, वेयर एज ब्रांचेज या सब्सिडरीज जिन कंट्रीज में है वो हो जाती हैं आपकी होस्ट कंट्रीज. Next definition says MNCs may be defined as an enterprise which control assets, factories, mines, sales, offices and the like in two or more countries. So basically whatever transaction, whatever transfer of products and services we are engaging ourselves into makes our business a multinational corporation when we are talking about the transfer or transaction of products and services. Next definition says multinational corporations engaged with organizational activities by crossing national borders to acquire resources or to sell products of these firms become involved in international business. As I told you, international business simple words में हो गया हमारा कि हम अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बना रहे हैं मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशन. अब डिस्कस कर लेते हैं कुछ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशन की. सबसे पहला है मल्टी डोमेस्टिक मैनेजमेंट. जो भी लोकल यूनिट्स एस्टैब्लिश्ड हैं डिफरेंट कंट्रीज़ में हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की, हम उनको ये पावर दे रहे हैं, उनको ये फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं कि वो कुछ डिसीजंस या डिस्क्रिशंस अपने लेवल पे इंडिपेंडेंटली ले सकती हैं. तो एक तरीके से हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे मैनेजमेंट करने की फ्रीडम दे रहे हैं. दिस इज़ a characteristic referred to as the multi domestic management, जहाँ पे लोकल लेवल पे, डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे जो हमारी सब्सिडरी फर्म्स हैं वो अपना मैनेजमेंट डिसीजंस ले सकती हैं. Next we have giant size. This is something but obvious that when we are talking about a multinational corporation, we are talking about an organization that is not only set up in our own country but rather it has its branches in a number of countries. तो कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जब एक से ज़्यादा कंट्रीज़ में इस्टेब्लिश हो रही है तो वही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को हम बोलते हैं कि वो एक लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, उसका जो साइज़ है वो काफ़ी वास्ट है. अगर डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे भी बात करते हैं तो अगर किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के एक से ज़्यादा ब्रांच है तो उसको हम लार्ज स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज ही बोलते हैं। तो जब हम एमएनसीज की बात करें तो भाई हमारा तो बिजनेस आउट ऑफ द कंट्री जा रहा है, दूसरी कंट्रीज तक एक्सपैंड हो रहा है, सो दिस इज बट ऑब्वियस कि उसका साइज जो होगा वो लार्ज होगा। Next we have host country, that is an again very important feature of a multinational corporation. This is very simple as I told you right now कि जब भी हम किसी दूसरी कंट्री में अपना बिजनेस लेकर के जाएंगे तो वो कंट्री कहलाएगी हमारे लिए होस्ट कंट्री। तो होस्ट कंट्री का होना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अगर आप मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशन की बात कर रहे हो। उसके बाद आता है डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट। डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट यानी कि जो मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशंस होती हैं दे प्रोवाइड यू अ बेनिफिट ऑफ द इन्वेस्टमेंट फैसिलिटीज। Whatever multinational corporations are there, they are basically indulged into the concept of foreign direct investment, wherein either you can invest into a company or country, a foreign company or country, or some other foreign company or country can invest into your business. Next we have professional management team. अगेन दिस इज़ वेरी ऑब्वियस कि जब हम मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशंस की बात कर रहे हैं और कई सारी कंट्रीज़ में हमने अपना बिजनेस सेटअप कर रखा है तो वहाँ का जो प्रोफेशनल एक्सपर्टीज़ है, वहाँ का जो एक्सपीरियंस है, वहाँ का जो नॉलेज है, उसका बेनिफिट हमें मिलेगा। तो जब बेनिफिट हम ले रहे हैं तो हमारे पास एक प्रोफेशनल मैनेजमेंट टीम होगी जो कि हमारे बिजनेस को सक्सेसफुली कैरी फॉरवर्ड करेगी। नेक्स्ट वी हैव मोड ऑफ ट्रांसफ़र। जितना भी कह सकते हैं कि पेमेंट का जो चैनल है, जो भी फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस होने होते हैं पेरेंट और सब्सिडरी कंपनी में, वो होता है बहुत इजीली थ्रू अ फाइनेंशियल चैनल दैट इज बीन एस्टैब्लिश्ड बिटवीन दी पेरेंट एंड द सब्सिडरी कंपनी, वेदर इट इज़ द ट्रांसफर ऑफ फंड्स और इट इज़ द ट्रांसफर ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स। नेक्स्ट वी हैव वैल्यू फॉर मनी। Obviously when we are moving our business from a you can say domestic level to the international level, we are expanding our business, and since we are expanding our business, जो profit हमें domestic level पे मिल रहा था वो अब multiply होगा और वो हमें international level से भी मिल पाएगा। So ultimately we are getting a value for the money that we have made investment into by establishing a subsidiary branch in some other country. Next we have flexibility. Whatever decisions have to be taken, whatever major financial support has to be provided, there is a lot of flexibility that the MNCs are going to provide to their subsidiaries. Now we'll discuss the reasons that are prevalent for the growth of the MNCs. First is the non-transferable knowledge. When we are talking about non-transferable knowledge, this is something but obvious कि अगर हमारे पास कोई professional knowledge या expertise है तो we don't want to pass it on to some other country, rather we want to utilize it for the growth and benefit of our own country. So in that case, if any organization has established their business in our country, we would prefer to join the subsidiary of that particular organization in our own country rather than working in the parent organization of that particular country. Next is exploring reputations. We are making an attempt to understand that what is the reputation of the MNCs that have been set up. Next, protecting reputation. Since you are developing your business, you are involving yourself into a number of products and services, it becomes very important for you to protect your reputation in the international market, because goodwill is very important for you to excel in any kind of business, whether you are dealing at the domestic level or you are dealing at the international level. Next we have protecting secrecy. जब हम MNCs की बात करें तो MNCs आपको FDI का बेनिफिट ज़्यादा देती हैं rather than they are interested in providing you some patent rights or some licenses. FDI से बेनिफिट ये होता है कि वो आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट करने का ऑप्शन देती हैं अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, which again might prove to be a boost for them, because since they are investing they would get better returns and it will help you as an MNC to grow in the international market. Next we have the availability of capital. The MNCs have quick and better access to the capital markets. Next, product life cycle hypothesis. This is something that proves to be really beneficial for the MNCs, because see this you can understand by an example कि प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल में डिफरेंट स्टेजेस होते हैं, इंट्रोडक्शन, ग्रोथ, मैच्योरिटी, बूम, डिक्लाइन एंड देन फिर हमें रिकवरी की तरफ बढ़ना पड़ता है। तो अल्टीमेटली व्हाट हैपेंस, जब हम प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल की बात कर रहे होते हैं तो ज़रूरी नहीं है कि एक कंट्री में अगर किसी प्रोडक्ट का इंट्रोडक्शन स्टेज चल रहा है तो नेक्स्ट कंट्री में भी वही स्टेज चल रहा हो। आप अगर अपनी कंट्री की बात करो, आपने अपना प्रोडक्ट अपनी कंट्री में इनिशियली लॉन्च किया, तो माइट बी पॉसिबल कि जब आपकी कंट्री में जो प्रोडक्ट है उसका स्टेज मैच्योरिटी स्टेज हो तो किसी और कंट्री में वो इंट्रोडक्शन स्टेज पे हो। तो जो डिफरेंट बेनिफिट्स होते हैं ना डिफरेंट फेजेस ऑफ प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल के, वो डिफरेंट कंट्रीज़ में अलग होते हैं और उनका बेनिफिट हमें अवेल करने को मिल जाता है। तो अगर एक कंट्री से हमें कुछ लॉस भी फेस करना होगा, अगर एक कंट्री में हमारा प्रोडक्ट डिक्लाइन की तरफ भी जा रहा होगा, तो एटलीस्ट किसी एक पर्टिकुलर कंट्री में हमारा प्रोडक्ट ग्रोथ की तरफ जा रहा होगा, क्योंकि इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद हमने प्रोडक्ट इंट्रोड्यूस किया तो इट्स नेचुरल कि इट विल ग्रो इन द मार्केट। Next is avoiding tariffs and quotas. MNCs, since they prefer direct investment, so whatever tariffs and quotas are there, they are avoided. Strategic FDI, strategic foreign direct investment. That means is entering into the mode of foreign direct investment in a way so that the competitors can be tackled easily. Next we have symbiotic relationships, a mutual relationship between the countries and the companies. Now what is the status of the multinational corporation in India, that we'll study. MNCs have been operating in India even prior to independence, like Singer, Parry, Philips, Unilever, Procter and Gamble. They either operated in the form of subsidiaries or entered into collaboration with Indian companies involving sale of technology as well as the use of foreign brand names for the final product. The entry of MNCs in India was controlled by existing industrial policy statements, MRTP Act and FERA. Now these acts have been repealed and MRTP Act has become the Competition Act while FERA has become FEMA. तो अभी जब पास्ट में जब ये फॉरेन मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशन जब हमारी कंट्री में जब उन्होंने सब्सिडरीज एस्टैब्लिश की थी तो दे वर गवर्न्ड बाय दीज एक्ट्स. नाउ apart from playing an important role in globalization and international relations, these MNCs even have a notable influence on the country's economy. Obviously, whenever the foreign companies are investing into our country, they'll have some benefit, they'll provide some economical boost to our country. Now what are the different MNCs that are on the top list? Microsoft Corporation, Nokia, Nestle, Coca-Cola, Procter Gamble, IBM, PepsiCo, Sun Pharmaceutical, Sony Corporation and Citigroup. These are the 10 prominent MNCs that are relevant in India. Now the challenges that are being faced by companies in India. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, ये एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है फॉर द MNCs इन इंडिया. दे आर फेसिंग द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. दे डू नॉट हैव प्रॉपर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. रिक्रूटमेंट, सिंस द IT experts or the technical skills are more, management skills are more required, somewhere India is lacking with these better options and hence it becomes a challenge for the recruitment. Now diverse culture, we have we have known this since our childhood that India is a country that is known for its unity and diversity. So since there are diverse culture, it becomes difficult for the management to manage those cultures and work together. Next is price centric customers. The customers are really price centric. They are focused more towards the price rather than the quality, and hence assuring the customer loyalty becomes a task in India. The global economic slowdown, there are certain factors that have led to the slowdown of the country, which ultimately become a problem for the MNCs that are set up in our country. Increasing competition, there are a number of countries that are interested in investing into India, so obviously there are competition as well. Talent crisis, skillful and you can say experienced talent is still missing in our country. Global firms require global management. This is again a problem that the MNCs are facing. Very few Indian companies or Indian firms have got international management expertise, so this becomes a problem for them. Now the advantages that the MNCs have in India, that we'll discuss. Marketing opportunity, they have a better scope of market available so that they can provide a ground for their products and services to be launched in a better way. Research and development activities are carried out very smoothly in the country. Export promotion, number of subsidies or financial assistance and a number of schemes are provided for the promotion of export in the country. Growth of industry, MNCs are growing at a really fast level. Gives latest technology, whatever latest technology or the upgraded technology is working around the world, MNCs provide you a benefit to avail those technologies. Optimum utilization of resources. Now since the MNCs have been set up in a number of countries, so whatever resources one country is specializing into, it can have the opportunity to utilize its own resources up to the maximum or the optimum level. Next, we have help to local industries. Whatever domestic industries are set up, MNCs are going to provide or help them and benefit them. Management opportunities. Since you are operating in a number of countries, you get benefit from a number of management professionals and personnel. National development, obviously the economic development. Control over monopolies. Monopoly simply means that one particular firm is dominating the entire market, which ultimately is prevented when we are entering into the concept of MNCs. Now, what are the criticisms against MNCs in India? Capturing market. These are the criticisms against MNCs, that the MNCs are capturing the domestic market of the country. Use of capital intensive techniques. Whatever capital intensive techniques are there, MNCs are making more use of that rather than using the labor intensive techniques. Encouragement to expensive consumption. Whatever products that are of a high value, MNCs are encouraging the customers to enter into expensive consumption, to enter into the consumption of the expensive products and services. Import of obsolete technology. Whatever obsolete outdated technology is there around the world, MNCs are somewhere making the country as a you can say as a hub to import all the obsolete technology in our country. Setting up environment polluting industries. Whatever in the speed at which the industries are being set up in our country, the effect can be easily seen on the environment. Volatility in exchange rate. Whatever exchange rates are there, lot of changes are there, which is not very easy to manage. And the last criticism is transfer pricing and evasion of local taxes. Transfer pricing basically means that the cost of one department is taken over by the other department. It is transferred to some other department, it is recovered from some other department. So transfer pricing is obviously prevalent when we are talking about MNCs, and the local taxes that are to be paid by the firms that are evaded as well. So I just hope whatever we discussed about MNCs in today's video, it's clear to you all. Any doubts, any comments, you can mention down in the comment section below. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.